Hi everybody, Tuesday, March 19th, 2019. We're going to talk a little bit about mating boxes, queen castles slash nuke boxes. For a nuke, NUC is short for a nucleus hive. Here's a standard nucleus box. It has a typical bottom board, has a box that holds 5 frames. Now, each manufacturer is different. This one here, personally, I prefer the Man Lake version. It is about an extra ½ inch wider on the overall width, and there's enough room that when you put your 5 frames in and center them, you've actually got room to work when you go to work them. There were some made by another manufacturer that were a little narrower, and that ½ inch makes a difference. You go to get your first frame out and you don't really have room, because sometimes they'll fill these nucleus boxes really big, really full. For a feeder, now there's several people with plans out there for a type of feeder. This one here has the ladder system up in the top. The bees go up through there, they come in. It also serves as a vent, and they go down this little ladder here and they go into the stainless steel tray. Now these stainless trays I've made myself at my shop, but you can come up with some type of a tray, and if you're into building your own boxes, you can make some type of a feeder. But what I've done here is, on this nucleus hive, there would be your standard 5 frame deep. You've got that. Then in the summertime, when it's warm, add this vent box, which is just simply 3/4 inch holes around with hardware, number 8 hardware cloth to prevent any robbers from getting in there, any bees. You put that on there, and your lid. Now I like the standard telescoping lids. Some people prefer the migratory. If you're putting them all next to each other, if you're moving them a lot, the migratory lids are better, but I personally go with these. Now what I've come up with here, a lot of people are going for doing small splits and or queen mating boxes, a 2-frame box. What I've done is I've taken that and I've added these 2 little wings on here. Now all of my parts are interchangeable. In the springtime, when I say spring, late spring, early summer, want to make some queens, you put a frame, let's say a frame of all resources, nurse bees, capped brood, eggs, larvae, the whole deal, no queen, and you put it in there. Then you come in and put either an empty frame with either a starter strip or some, if you got drawn comb, whatever, put in a second frame. There you go. Those bees, you can either add a queen cell or you can let them make one. Set this up. You've got your feeder is all interchangeable. Put your feeder and your standard top and your vent right on top of there. Now you've set up, I've made a big stack of these. You set these up, and in May you make some queens, you make some of these, and you've got a few extras that are basically a 2-frame mini nuke. Well, you can take those and then transfer them into a 5-frame, utilize your same feeder, same vent, same top, let them build out, and then over July and August during the dearth, feeding them, and you can develop yourself a nice nucleus hive to take over through the winter. That can then either be the following, you can either make another split off of it and once you put them in here, let them build up and do it again if it's early enough in the year, if they've got enough time. Here's the alternative for queens. One option is you come in, this is a double queen mating nuke. You would come in, you got to get the bees to draw out these oddball frames. You put a queen cell in there, 1 on each side. These trays are for feed, and you put this out there. Well, when you want to go and do an inspection on one side, pull a queen out of one, you're exposing both hives. And plus you've got these oddball frames. This here, if you've got frames from another hive, if you've got whatever, if you can just get one good frame of all the resources, everything they need, you just simply put one of them in there and one empty. They'll take care of the rest. These, you have to really keep working with them. These are also, something happens, they get away from you. This here, you've got a little more time, a little bit. And you can take these, put them right into the 5 frames, and then even if those get built up, add a second box on top. A little easier, less maintenance. These here, if you got good queens you're raising, and all of a sudden you've got some queens that have mated and get in here and start laying, they'll fill this thing up and they'll be completely full and they'll swarm out of here. Then another option are these single. Now these mating boxes, they work. If you can stay on top of it, if you're a full-time beekeeper, that's fine. But this is a simple way that you can just, you can do it at home. Very simply, very easily. It doesn't require daily or at least every couple of days of care. These small little mating boxes, you got this little bitty frame. You get the bees to draw out 3 of these, and you get a queen. You put a queen cell in there, you get her, she comes out, she goes and gets mated and comes back and starts laying. You verify, yep, she's back. We see a few eggs. Well, you better be checking these. They'll fill it up. They'll fill it up in a couple days. So these are just a couple ideas. It's real simple. Just simply a standard, same length, you just narrow it up and add these wings to match the width. So just some thoughts. Happy beekeeping, everybody.